Hey, it's Joe Mark Witt.
And Antonia Dodge.
From Personality Hacker. We want to invite you to a free webinar this Tuesday, February 8th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're calling it How to Deal with Emotional Triggers as a Romantic Couple. You can register for this webinar. It's free. Go over to personalityhacker.com/webinar. Get your name on the list. Even if you can't attend live, we're going to share the replay with anyone who can't come and join us in the moment. And what we're going to be covering here are the ways we get triggered in relationship. You know, not just the specific words, because that's going to be specific to you and your partner, but the mechanisms that cause the trigger. Somebody says something, now there's an emotional response, a whole story gets created, and now it pings it over to you, and you create a story, now a fight breaks out. This happens to all couples, happens to me and Antonia all the time, so we've had to figure out how to solve this in our lives. We want to share with you some of the ways that we approach triggers in our relationship that we think will help you and your partner moving forward.
There's a lot of assumptions around how triggers work, and I don't mean like generally accepted assumptions. I mean emotional assumptions that we make. When we get triggered, we can get triggered by, it can be a word, but it can also be a topic. It could be an action the person takes. It could be an action the person didn't take. It could be a narrative or story or an association. There are a lot of things that trigger us. The challenge is that when we get triggered, we assume that we have the high ground and that the other person needs to figure that out and then come meet us all the way where we're at in order to work through it. But sometimes those triggers don't just lead to an emotion, it leads to an entire narrative or story that goes along with the emotion. And the narrative and story becomes this sort of calcified thing. It becomes sort of the overarching challenge in the relationship. But what if that story didn't really matter that much? What if everything was living underneath it? What if the actual cause of the problem had nothing to do with the content, but actually had to do with the mechanism of the trigger itself? So those are the kinds of things we're going to dive into and really reinforce how important it is to be self-aware, aware of our own triggers, aware of how we're triggering the other person, and then figure out solid strategies to navigate out of those places. It's not easy, but it can be more simple than we give it credit for.
So again, you can come by yourself, you can bring your partner with you. It's free, and we'll have the replay available, so register at personalityhacker.com/webinar. It's, again, Tuesday, February 8th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'd love to have you there and join us and learn more about the mechanisms of triggers, how they show up in your relationship, and what to do about them to stop the fights. So we'll see you at that webinar. I'm Joe Mark Witt.
And I'm Antonia Dodge.
We'll see you there.